Hello, everyone. This is Stacy Hoffman-Farmer with Mountain Serenity Massage. Today, I am here with Nyree Aine. Nyree is considered the Seer. She walks in both worlds for us. She's a psychic, a channeling healer, a Reiki master, a diamond light practitioner, and a soul mentor. And she works from a space of infinite love to help heal her clients and reconnect them with who they actually really are. And she uses a term called the Academy of Unlearning, where people unlearn who they are right now to relearn who they really are in their soul, which I think is pretty incredible. So, Nyree, thank you so much for being here today.
Lovely introduction.
No, thank you. I'm glad you're here today. So, Nyree, you're my first seer that I've really had on here. I've had several energetic healers and intuitives. I'd like to know a little bit more about your work as a seer and a psychic intuitive and how you got into that.
Well, I've always been different from a little girl, and my mum actually had a hairdressing salon, and I used to spend a lot of time as a very small child in the hairdressing salon talking to the old ladies, and I would often come out and ask them questions that nobody knew. Like, oh, has your daughter had the baby yet? Or and they would say to my mum, how would she know that? And mum said, don't make anything out of it, just answer her. Mm-hmm. And my mum was very psychic as well, and my grandmother, and it's just one of those family things. So I was able to really feel very natural in being able to express what I saw. Then I denied myself if I wanted to fit in, just like everybody else. All of humanity just wants to fit in. So I went through my own self-sabotage of trying to do that, to hide my gifts, or to just try and hide who I was, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I met this amazing man online, as we all do, and connected with him. And he himself, psychic healer and everything that we all are. And I asked him for healing, and then I messaged him and said, it's okay, I know that you're not able to do this for me, but I have a message for you.
Oh, wow.
So I gave him messages, and then he said to me, I have a message for you. What are you doing? So he actually took me under his wing a little bit and gave me clients and just said, oh, I have 10 people ready for you to do some sessions with. And you could imagine I just wanted to go and curl up in a ball and hide myself in the cupboard and go, no, I'm not ready to come out of the closet yet. And as they say, the rest is history. I did the 10 clients. It was amazing. And then they just came in from everywhere. And I never advertised to do that. And I actually, when I first started, didn't even show my face. So no one knew. They knew who I was. I spoke to them, but I was still in that sense of protection. I didn't want to come out of my closet and to really show myself yet. And it was probably about 4 years ago. I went, okay, I'm ready.
Wow.
No, I had been working around, for 10 years doing this.
So 4 years ago, you let everybody see you. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So see, we all have emotional stuff that comes up, even through our own work.
I was going, I called, I was in my cave. I was doing my own healing and nurturing and releasing and coming into that awakening and the oneness of all. And the more going on this spiritual journey isn't just like wake up one day and go, I remember, let's go do this. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, I have to face absolutely everything, and I need to bridge the gap between my separateness from my ego to my soul. And in doing that, you go into the dark night of the soul, as it's called. You go into facing all of that. You can't stop. There's no running anymore.
Wow. So you really were led back to something that you always had. You were trying to hide from it. I'm
Yeah.
sure many people out there understand when you hide from stuff that you should be doing, it tends to come back around. So it's great that you were led back to it so you could share your gift with the whole world.
Yeah. And they are, what we're hiding from is our greatest gifts.
That's true. I did plenty of that.
The abuse,
Oh,
the
yeah.
sadness, the guilt, the shame, the suffering. It's all the gifts. They're beautiful. They all come from love.
Of course.
But
Everyone should be doing what they're meant to do, which is the hardest
the
thing.
ego says differently, but that's okay. That's what we're here to become best friends with and marry into this beautiful relationship.
Oh, exactly. That's wonderful. Well, we're truly blessed to have you with us today because, coming around to find your own gift it's a difficult thing to do. And then being able to share that with everybody else and lead people through some healing stuff that you do, that's pretty incredible as well. So I was interested in your phrase, the Academy of Unlearning, as you work through with people, because I know in this day and age that we're very married to who we are in these three-dimensional bodies and what's going on with us. So I'm interested in your perspective of how to unlearn who you are so you can heal.
Well, to simply put it, and being a mum of 5, I've been nurturing and nourishing my beautiful little souls, beautiful gifts that they come through in just the purity of soul, the power of all of creation just merging through them.
Wow.
Then teach them how to react when something happens by what they see. They have things that happen to them, and as we have, as little souls, which we've chosen our paths. We're all here to be a gift for each other. So then we learn all of these illusions.
Illusions is a great way to put that. The illusion
And we
of what's
hold
around
on to
us.
them. Ooh.
Yeah.
I remember the time somebody hurt me and it was horrible. I'm never going to let that happen again. So this is what I will do. This is where I'll react. So then that becomes patterning and behavior. And it's not only our own patterning and behavior, it's that of others that we believe in. So we trust all that we hear and see from our parents, our grandparents, our aunties, our uncles, our siblings.
Wow.
That's none of it. None of that really is our stuff. It's the beliefs, it's the mind.
Wow, picking things up.
The ego dancing through life to show us the gifts that we need to then to be able to remember to come back to that purity of essence of who we are, the remembering the soul. So when we go into, and I'm working with a client and there's things coming up consistently, and it's easier to blame the ex-husband for his abuse and he's playing up, or it's easier to blame the sister who did this, or the brother, or whoever it may be, than to own the responsibility of that and look deeper into the core of where that sits.
Okay.
The behavior and the patterning, and unlearn it. Because at some point you learnt it.
That's true.
So out of the mind and into the heart, unlearn everything that you've ever known, to come into the trust and of now into your heart space, to know that none of it exists. It's your creation. It's your story. You made it up.
Wow. What a powerful message that you created your own experience based on what you were seeing from other people. So you took it in. Oh, that's wow. So you go through with people how to
do that, to move it.
Yeah, so you're working through with people to say, you didn't create that. You learned it from someone else, and then you took it in and did something with it. So
that, and also you had the energetic match and the vibration to allow that into your own creation.
Okay. So you're taking it in
very powerful.
Okay. So you've worked with quite a few people, it sounds like, over the last 10 years that have come in with a lot of different emotional issues and things like that. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to speak with you. We've seen this repeating theme throughout the summit, through the whole series now, where what you're thinking and feeling inside yourself is what's coming out and creating your reality, creating responses in your environment, in your physical body, in the relationships that are around you. And it sounds like you're experiencing that in your own work as well.
Yes.
Wow.
On the planet right now is people are needing to face themselves.
Wow.
Your world is not outside of you. It's the perception that you created outside of yourself. Everything is within. As my 15-year-old always says, "Oh, Mum, your favourite words are within, be present."
Well, that sounds like a great thing that they should be learning. Look within and be present. Yes. I think that's a good message. Well, I love the message you were saying about how you don't blame others for what's going on with you. That when you see a blame scenario, it's really something that's going on inside. So what has been your experience with that? Are you getting a lot of blame when you see people?
Well, it's easier to speak of this. Spirit recently told me, cut the story. I don't want to hear the story. The story is feeding the ego to roll with more stuff that doesn't exist. So if you sat in silence, stillness, you feel your breath just moving. You're not effortless. It's effortless. To be here is effortless. The mind will move messages in and out, but whether you give attention to it, you can give recognition to it and just allow the thoughts to freely flow in and out. But as soon as you then hold that thought and go, that triggered something in me, and then that triggers something else, and that triggers something else, and the story just explodes, and it's your story. That story doesn't exist, because if we shared an experience, we were a beautiful gift for one another, that might seem a very hurtful, painful, emotional time in that
experience
of what it is. But in that is the reflection of the gifts. I feel unsupported, so you came and gave me the gifts just to show me where I was feeling unsupported.
Oh, wow. That's I love it.
I felt sabotaged, so you came in and sabotaged me and showed me that. So I just have the greatest love, empathy and compassion for not only myself, for giving myself the awareness of that, but for you, for being the gift of that for me.
Oh, so the gratefulness of learning that lesson. So instead of perceiving it as a negative thing, it becomes something that's a learning experience, a positive.
Exactly. We are all the same. We are all the same essence. There's no nasty, there's no negative, it's only the perception of what that is by the creation of how you feel. Once you bring that into your awareness and you allow that to become that beautiful experience, and until humanity can see every other living being on this planet having a human experience, we're simply having a human experience, and every single one of us has chosen a different path of what that human experience is for the collectiveness of all of us to remember who we are.
Oh, that's great.
To have love, compassion, empathy, and thankfulness and gratitude for the wars, the murderers, the rapists, they trigger something in us that goes, oh, that's not nice.
That's great. I'd rather trigger the more positive emotions, of course, but the more negative,
but it's
quote
still,
unquote, they're good. They're there.
In that then they push their judgment outside
Mm-hmm.
to what they should be or shouldn't be. And they're here on this planet being exactly what they're meant to be for the rest of humanity to remember.
Oh, that's a great, it really helps take the judgment out of how you look at other people. Because I know we judge outside of ourselves, but we're also judging inside of ourselves as well. You know, there's that internal monologue going on that's creating judgment. I love that your spirit gave you the message of cut the story. Don't tell the story. Because the ego that we see in the mechanics of the brain, the mind part of us, is trying to tell a story to validate an experience.
Yes.
That's what we've seen. Oh, that's great. So saying cut it off means, you know what, don't give it any more energy.
Don't give this story any more attention. Let's just look at what came up around the emotions of that.
Oh, that's great.
Where's the separateness from your heart here? How is your heart feeling?
Because then it takes it right back into you. Oh, that's really beautiful. I know.
Let's own this experience and let's feel this. Bring this hurt child in. Allow yourself to be the parent to this hurt little child.
That's inside.
Inside. Or be the beautiful gift of love to the suffering right now of what is being felt here. And feel that gift of how the other person or situation has come in to allow you to bring that back home and center that into yourself, because you're all of that.
Wow. I love that message again, that there's that piece of you that's the little child that needs some nurturing inside of you. I think many of us forget that the emotional side of us can be seen as that little child inside of you, and we're so logical now in this world. You know, don't feel it, don't think it, you're not supposed to do that. And then there's that aspect of you that, I mean, that's what it's there for, to make sure that you feel and experience.
Exactly. And my message is, don't think, just feel. Stop thinking. Feel that. Sit with it. And self-inquiry. Ask yourself, do I really believe this? Where does this belief come from? Is it my belief? Allow yourself to go into becoming very well acquainted with all of these areas that you're shunning and putting away from you. Bring them all in and feel the sense of what you have pushed away from yourself.
Wow. Oh, that's pretty powerful as well. I know we've seen, again, throughout this series, that taking control of how we are really thinking and feeling inside is where it's at. And obviously, Nyree, you do that very well with your work. So stop thinking about what happened or who else was part of it. It's how did you feel? You know, what happened inside of you? How did you respond to that? Oh, that's great.
I'd have to say the thing that people run from the most is the sense of anger. I don't want to be angry. And we're taught to not, don't let yourself go. Don't speak that way. It's not nice. So people have a lot of suppressed anger.
Oh.
And all that is the soul's the recognition of the soul needing to be nurtured.
Wow. I've seen a lot of that.
Which is then the mental illness that we have. It's like the plague across the planet right now, is the sense of mental illness in anguish, because people have become so trapped in their mind that even their feelings are coming from their mind intelligence, but they're not even coming from the heart intelligence of the truth of what that is, because the mind will tell the ego what they should be feeling in that moment by the memories of the experiences, and then they feel that mentally, but they're not feeling it from their heart space because they've blocked their heart space off. And I see that a lot. And that's where we're bridging that separateness back to wholeness and allowing people to feel from their heart. And scientists have proven, and they can only prove to 5,000 times more energetic, that we have a much more powerful vibration from the heart than mind.
Absolutely.
But it's eternal and endless. It's immeasurable.
Wow.
And again, it comes from needing the mind to have proof that something exists.
Yes, the body-mind-spirit connection is it's becoming so much more obvious how powerful it is. Something so ancient that we should have known all along, of course. So, I love that you're working through that space. So, that heart space, that spirit space in your body where the love is coming from, being so blocked by anger. I know we've talked a lot in the series also about anger and fear being such dominant, powerful emotions that everyone is trying to pretend is not there. Don't feel the fear. Don't be angry, right? As you were saying, don't let yourself go. And I think it's unfortunate because we wouldn't have those emotions if we didn't need them.
And especially for women too. We are the powerball of creation. We are the source of bringing and nurturing life through us to enter our womb into the light and the world of the earth. And of course, yes, the masculine energy needs to be of nurturing for us to be the enabler of that as well. And we are both masculine and feminine energy, as you know. But we've been living in our masculine. The planet's all been upside down, and the feminine energy is coming back around and allowing this beautiful flow of energy. So there you've got women who are cut off from their own power of creation and having issues with their menstrual cycles because they're so masculine. They're living in the survival of needing to be the mummy and the daddy and bring the money in, and like so much happening, and it's so imbalanced in that now we're coming into allowing women to feel vulnerable and say, hey, I do need support, and if I'm able to just have this beautiful nurturing, I can be the center of your world.
That's
And
really beautiful.
And we are. That it's if you're in a household and it's all upside down, it's because Mummy B is, if all the children are off balance, it's because Mummy's off balance.
And it just sort of cascades through the whole.
Yes.
The whole.
Everyone becomes reflections with each other.
Wow. Well, I'm sure we've all experienced that out there when you're in a close family relationship with your parents, your children. We do start reflecting each other, which I think is a little scary when you're a little too close. That's a really great way that you describe how the feminine is being, a little suppressed. I mean, this society in general is very patriarchal. We are very much in our masculine energy.
Know and feel and honor the sense of emotion because it's raw and real. And we've been taught not to have that and to stand up and be as powerful as the man, and we've given away the power instead of we are so powerful in just being.
Oh, taking a step back to think about that, especially for the ladies that are out there watching. I mean, just thinking about how you said suppressing that feminine energy can cause problems with your reproductive system. I mean, manifesting in your body because you're feeling disconnected from your source of that power, which is, I mean, we've seen that a lot in this society. That's a very common issue to have these days because you're trying to hold it together like a man would. Oh.
Yeah, and the sense of then not having the support and having to do everything and not enough time, and there's energies everywhere. So then it's that then comes into the solar plexus and digestion issues. We've got a lot of food allergies and different things around us. That's a sense of energetically, but it's also what we are putting in our bodies as well, which is physically being shown. There's a lot of back issues.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of fear of not being supported, protected, and a lot of it comes around financial lack of abundance. And when people are feeling in lack, they have a lot of problems around the sacral energy, and that is huge.
Yeah, I feel a lot of back pain in my own practice with massage. I know back pain is one of
you would know
the most common. Yeah. So thinking about that in terms of that sacral energy right there in that low back space and not feeling safe or secure or like you have enough that you can always be safe. I mean, I know I've gone through many of those issues myself. So experiencing the emotion that goes with that energy and then releasing that back pain is so profound.
Oh, and it can be instant.
It really can. There's been a few times where it feels like it just up and left, and then it comes back, and I work through some more things. And we're always a work in progress for everyone that's watching. It's not like it's a one-time fix-all.
Well, I always say the body is my alarm system. So if something is going off in my body, if there's an alarm going off saying, hello, we're not looking at something here, there's something happening, and where is that coming from? So my process for everything is I sit in silence.
That's a great idea. Just to listen. What is your body saying?
Just sit and feel. Give recognition. Don't try and push the pain away. Give recognition to the pain. Know that it's there. It's okay.
And just hold that
show love into that area, and just feel. And it's like a candy going, whoop, 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 popcorn going on.
Yes. Oh, that's great. And when you think about it,
oh yes, okay, yes, all right. Oh, I've just gone into a little bit of my victim state again. No one cares. No.
Yes, I know we've all experienced the victim state as well, where it's happening to you, not something that you're creating. So letting go of that victim state is so key as well. You're creating it by something.
Oh yes, I've had many a fight with spirit and cried out, what else? No more.
I've had those moments too, where it's just overwhelming. I can't do this right now. So.
And it's in that moment where we just go, we're surrendering. We are instantly surrendering and saying, I've had enough. And that's what they're wanting us to do, is just stop and surrender and stop trying to control everything and be in the belief of what you need to do or how it should happen. And we all have this sense of, but I want this in my life and this is how I want it. Then we have expectations. So expectation, we have disappointment. If we have no expectation, we have no disappointment. We just simply have excitement of just flowing in everything, and follow your excitement. Don't follow or control trying to follow what you believe you should be doing in creation. And I recently took 12 months off. I got to burnout because I was giving too much. I had given everything away I had owned. I had let everything go out of my life, and we were going to travel the world with the children, working and spreading the love. Spirit had other ideas.
Spirit does tend to tell you what you need to be doing.
Yes, and I felt pregnant anyway, but with my new baby, and I got told I had to let go of everything. And I cried and cried and cried and said, how much more do I need to let go of? I've let go of everything, everything. My children and my husband and I, we have a suitcase, that's it, of clothes. We don't have anything else. I need to at least have clothing. I can't be naked.
Right.
I'm having this ridiculous conversation in the spirit in my mind of my victim vulnerability moment of, and I got told, what else is there to sacrifice? Nothing, nothing, nothing. It was the belief of what I was to be in service
Wow.
to spirituality and what spirituality meant and how I was meant to be of that.
Wow. So instead of letting go of the physical even, it was letting go of a belief, something that you didn't even realize was there to begin with.
No, I channel, I was being, of service and in loving service to people who were there, who came to me, but then I started to control the aspect of what I believed I wanted to be and how I wanted it to unfold. So I got the biggest slap in the face of, no, this is not the way you will be doing it. And I had to take that step back. And from that moment, I would have to say that was the most profound and deepest healing for me, the final piece of the puzzle, if you would say, of everything that I was gifting and giving and helping others to understand.
That's really profound. And I know that was very dramatic.
I had to do it for myself completely.
Yes. I mean, talk about manifesting into your physical reality when your family only has a suitcase full of clothes and you're still being directed to let go. I mean, your physical environment was nothing, and then getting through that belief. I mean, for people out there, there are some people that are going through these really dramatic things where everything around you is going, and it's, as you were saying, Nyree, it's something that was inside of you that was triggering that physical environment that you had to let go.
So within nothingness, and that's what I heard, it was nothing. Wow. You are nothing. There is nothing. And I remember my husband recorded it because I sat there and I cried and I cried and I cried. And I sounded like I was on ecstasy and having an orgasm at the same time. And bursting into this, and I'm saying to him, I feel it. Oh my gosh, there's nothing. And I'm going to burst out laughing. I said, there's nothing. And it all came, and that was about 2 years ago that I had that profound experience. There's nothing, it's everything. Nothing and everything, and the belief of what and who we are, and I had that again after I was taken in to face my darkness, and we come from the darkness.
We do.
And that was, and then we are afraid to go back there, to come out the other side. And it's not saying that everybody needs to, and everybody has a different process, and everybody has a different awareness and path and journey, which is perfect for them. Mm-hmm. That was just my own experience. That as a very aware and open person, but I'm always learning, and I never stop, and I just completely trust in where I'm told to go. And I was directed to go deep into the bottom of the darkness of the beginning. And I do recall feeling, and I will share this with you because it's quite interesting. I felt I was upset with our Creator for abandoning me on it.
Oh, that's a really deep personal, you know, feeling. That's
And that still reduces me to tears.
it's all right. I'm sure many people have felt that, where they've been abandoned by the creator, and it's a hard thing to deal with, to feel abandoned. So
Yeah, so that was my final piece of the puzzle, was that I had to admit to myself as a soul, I chose to be here, but I didn't particularly want to be in this godforsaken place.
I think many of us feel like that from time to time.
How dare you leave me here to sort out your shit? You created it, not me.
See, that fundamental feeling. I mean, and look at what it created around you. And obviously now, a couple years later, you do have things around you again. You have your family, a lovely home.
Oh,
So,
yes.
going through that profound, I mean, for people out there watching, when you're going through some of these physical experiences, it doesn't have to necessarily manifest directly in your body. It can also manifest in your environment. And as Nyree was saying, the body was like a warning signal, like an alarm bell going off. I love that analogy. If your body is doing something that you don't necessarily want, what's the alarm? What is it triggering? And, having to go so deep as you did, I'm sure there's people out there going through very deep experiences that others, are not going to go through. It's just something that you do. And then learning how to let go.
It's not to, like, or straight you'll be judged. You're insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? That's not normal. You're not normal. And there is no normal. And we need, instead of shunning and pushing away these beautiful, beautiful souls and medicating them, and I'm not against medication at all. I do have clients who are on medication, and we have an amazing, we've come into so much knowledge to be able to help the human system. So there's, we cannot pretend that we don't at times need the help of those people who are able to help the human system with their knowledge and expertise.
Absolutely. So truly bringing together the body, the mind, and the spirit. I mean, if the body needs something, it needs it, whether that's medication or exercise or a different kind of food, right?
It's balance.
Yes.
And society will push them away and make them feel isolated, alienated, and not included because they don't fit in. Instead of going, wow, do you know what? You just need to sit with us and feel our love. Look into our eyes and feel our hearts, because right now, that's all you need is to remember. So if you feel that from me, you have that awareness in you. Now let's work with that. And instead of shunning them away, we have all the drug addicts and who have created their own separateness.
Yes, they're using some more extreme methods to not feel the isolation, that imaginary feeling of separateness.
But all they're doing is creating that on a deeper level, because instead of saying, okay, here we have somebody who's really, really wanting to feel the love and fit into this society, we're pushing them away, pushing them down, and throwing them out to the wolves, basically. And it's time that we all face ourselves to be able to help heal everybody on this planet. And the only way to do that is take responsibility for self and just be open.
Oh, what a beautiful message, that it's coming back to love. I know we've seen that in the series before, that really the basis of what everyone is looking for is that unconditional love and acceptance for who they really are. And I think it's one of the hardest things that we really have to turn and face about ourselves. I know I struggle with that also. Really not saying inside your head that you're not worth it, that you aren't lovable. And it comes back to that you really want that. And then you create that in your relationships. Maybe you have a relationship that's not really what you want, or, you're not feeling great about yourself. So
no, it's usually, but I can change him, or I can change.
I can change
what I need him to be for me.
Yes, there's never going to be anyone that can be what you really need. You have to create that inside.
And I think that's where the relationships come in of, if you have that relationship of yourself, then you just have that with everybody.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, and if there is anything there that isn't a match to you, it'll be eliminated anyway, no matter how hard you try to.
True. Oh, that's just such a beautiful message. So for the people out there watching that are really resonating with Nyree's work, please check out her website. It is her name, NyreeAine.com. So A-I-N-E was her last name. So definitely check it out and read more about her Academy of Unlearning, the phrase that she uses. So you can unlearn some of the things you've picked up in this experience and remember who you are fundamentally. Yes. Nyree, it was really a blessing to speak with you today. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
One more thing I just have to tell you.
Of course.
If everybody on this planet is being able to manifest all of their fears into their reality, imagine what you can manifest by releasing those fears. So people want to know, how do I manifest? How do you manifest? I manifest instantly all the time. Because just take that, think about that for a moment. You have manifested everything that you've created into your life of all your fears.
Yeah.
Balance that back around.
So instead of the what if in the fear space, it becomes what if I can create every beautiful, wonderful, happy thing I've ever thought of.
So every relationship I have, that's like, I always find the same relationship. This happens consistently because you expect it, you know it. You have no doubt in it, you believe in it, and it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of your thought process. So if you didn't have that and you just knew that what you were desiring or what was there for you was there for you without any doubt, then it will just be there for you. The same way all your fears are there for you. So we are the most powerful creators and manifestors on the planet. That's what we're here for. And we manifest each other into, everybody else into our lives by that energetic match. So if you can manifest everything in your life and have a think about what you've manifested into your life already, then you can manifest anything into your life by being that powerful creator.
What a powerful message. That's it seems like it would be hard not to think of the bad things and change it into good, but it's really easy. It's like practice. You just have to practice and then manifest it. That was
You're manifesting every day without realizing it. Every single day, in every moment, you're manifesting by what you're putting out and the energy and the creation of what that is to come back for you as a gift. And once you realize that, you know that you are able then to bring in so much more.
Oh, absolutely. What a beautiful message. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that before we let you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Spirit. So thank you again, Nyree. This was amazing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'm just blessed and honored to be able to share with you today. Thank you so much.
Well, we'll talk to you again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.